So Diablo 3 has been long rumored to be coming to the Nintendo Switch. I know I made a video about some of the speculation we were getting months ago. There was the infamous Light Switch tweet, right? Where they tweeted out this little video of someone switching a Diablo Nightlight, I think it was, on and off, which many took as a hint of the game getting a Switch port. No, they said, we're just advertising some products. Okay, Blizzard, whatever you say. Well, now we seem to have gotten some pretty solid confirmation via this recent Forbes leak. Forbes posted an article discussing the Switch version of the game, and it was quickly taken down, because this wasn't some oh, we've got insiders or something telling us this is happening. This was posted as if it was factual, like the game was actually announced, which probably means they were given some sort of official word and pre-wrote out the article with the information they were given, but someone accidentally, quote-unquote, hit publish. I put that in quotes because it's hard to know these days how many of these so-called, accidental leak type things are actually accidental, or are these people just looking for clicks. But either way, that's what I assume happened. They were given this information in some official manner, and this article went live just when it wasn't supposed to. So I feel pretty safe in assuming that we'll see the official announcement sometime soon. Now, personally, I'm super excited for this. This has been one of the games from day one, from the initial announcement of the Switch, that I thought was made for a system like this. Being able to take it on the go, get some quick grinding in at any moment, it's going to be fantastic. But according to this article at least, which I assume is accurate, the game is going to be a full $60 at launch, and I've seen some people debating about whether or not a game from back when did it come out? 2012? Whether or not a game that's that old is worth $60. Now, if it was just that game, the game we got back then, which I did play, I've spent more hours in Diablo 3 than I'd care to discuss, but if it was that same game, I'd totally be with you. In fact, I wouldn't pay $10 today for the Diablo 3 we got at launch, okay? It was awful. But since then, this game has been getting gradually improved over the years. We got the Reaper of Souls expansion, as well as the Rise of the Necromancer DLC, both of which will be included in the package, not to mention the robust, and I mean robust amount of free add-ons, free additional content, zones and enemies to fight, gear to collect, all that stuff that's just, it's been added all these years for free. I'll still admit, I think the title does fall a bit short of being the true Diablo 2 successor we all wanted, but I also think it's still the best game of its type going today. A lot of people will say Path of Exiles, which is probably more true to the Diablo 2 form, but I think that game has similar problems, but like the opposite. Diablo 3, for instance, is probably a little too simplified with the build options, but Path of Exile, I think, is a bit overly complicated. Their skill tree system just no thank you. So in its current state, I do think this game is worth a $60 price tag, if this Switch version runs well, of course. Like I said, this is going to be great to have on the go. If you're not familiar, it's an ARPG, a looter. You just run around killing legions of demons in search of better gear to make your character more powerful. You can sink thousands of hours into it with absolutely no problem. And the season system, this is really the key for a game like this, gives you a reason to keep coming back. With the seasons every few months or so, a new season starts, and players must roll brand new characters if they want to participate in that season for exclusive rewards, cosmetics typically, that can only be acquired during that season. And at the end of the season, everything rolls into your standard account. So it's not one of those things, because I know a lot of people worry about this, right? When it's one of these big RPG time sink type deals like MMOs typically, people worry that it's like, oh, my friends, they're going to go off and they're going to get much farther than me. I don't have the time to play as much as they do. I'm going to get left in the dust, that I'm not going to be able to join them. Or if they get in on day one, I'm not going to be able to catch up if I buy the game later. You don't have to worry about that. With the Seasons mode, you're heavily incentivized to basically start over on a regular basis. So every few months, you're getting a perfect jumping in point if you, take a break for a while or don't get the game until later. And if you want to talk about couch co-op, something that is very near and dear to my heart that unfortunately is kind of dying these days, damn, is this a fun one for that. I was very happy to see, apparently again from this leak, It appears to be keeping the 4-player co-op option, so you can have 4 players all on the screen at once on one single Switch if you want. And it plays surprisingly good on a controller. You may think this type of game requires a mouse and keyboard or just won't play well with a controller, but Blizzard killed it in that department on the other console versions, so I wouldn't worry about that at all. In fact, the controller support is one of the more requested features for the PC version, actually, because it's just, so comfortable to be able to lounge back and play one of these games on the controller instead of having to, hunch over your mouse and keyboard. And don't forget, I almost did, these exclusives we're getting, at least out of the gate. Switch players will be able to access a Zelda exclusive portrait, a wing set. We often get these different wing sets that you can equip to the back of your character, and this Ganondorf armor set. Oh, does this look sick. I could definitely get into running around as Ganondorf, just smashing demons into bloody pulps. I think that alone, for me, is going to be worth the price of admission. And also, don't forget, this will mark Blizzard's debut on the Switch. So, now that they're here, the door is open. I don't think it's crazy to think they may bring over some more stuff. I think there are still tons of people hoping to get Overwatch ported over, especially with them doing this Zelda skin stuff with Diablo 3. I could think of, just right now off the top of my head, of some pretty crazy Nintendo exclusive themed skins they could do in Overwatch 2. A lot of money to be made there, I think. The only thing that irritates me about this, well, 2 things really. One, obviously we've been getting a lot of leaks lately. It is kind of sad for these companies to not be able to, give us that big mind-blowing announcement. But 2, more so, coming off of my Dark Souls Remastered video, I've got to mention it, the release date. It looks as though this is going to be yet another fall game for this year. I've been going on about how crowded this holiday is getting for the Switch, and this is just, we got another game entering the fray. So I worry about a lot of these games, but particularly these ports of older titles just being lost in the shuffle when all this stuff starts dropping, being surrounded by, Nintendo first-party juggernauts. And after most of 2018 was just so slow on the system in terms of major releases, I feel like a lot of these games, Diablo 3 is another one, could have made a much bigger splash if they were slotted in at a different time. Hopefully it still succeeds. I want all these quality titles to find a new home here and be embraced by the Nintendo community. But yeah, with that, this video is a wrap. I am super excited to play this game on the Switch. I don't know what I'm going to do with all these time sync games coming out. Monster Hunter is about to drop. In fact, the Monster Hunter demo is probably out when you're watching this. Warframe is coming. In Diablo 3 now, there's not enough time in the day to play all this stuff. I don't know what I'm going to do. Let me know your thoughts about this new info on Diablo 3 coming to the Switch. Do you plan on picking it up when it comes out? Are you excited to play as Ganondorf? Hey guys, I hope you're all excited to take on Fem Diablo with me this fall. If you enjoyed this video and are new to the channel, please consider subscribing. And if you want to keep the conversation going, hit me up on Twitter at Johnny Zakari. And join my Discord, Shy Guy and Friends, linked to both in the description below. And as always, thanks for watching.